Hi, my name is Olivia, and you can find me on my channel, I Love You Simone. But today I'm here again on the Epic Reads channel to share with you the September book haul, which is one I'm really excited about because we have a lot of really good looking books, so let's just get started. So to get us started, we have the latest book by the award-winning author Kiri McCauley called We Can Be Heroes, and you might recognize her other book called If These Wings Could Fly. And this is actually told in a really cool format where we have a dual point of view with two characters, but there's also a third point of view written in verse by a ghost. So this story follows two ex-best friends who are right here, and they kind of find common ground with wanting to get vengeance for the murder of their friend Cassie, and Cassie is right here. That's her ghost, which was that third POV I mentioned. So this is a contemporary story mixed in with a little bit of magic, but it also has some very hard-hitting topics like gender-based violence and gun violence. This does take place in the aftermath of a school shooting, and it's really supposed to highlight the healing power of friendship, which just sounds really beautiful and really moving. Next, we have Act Cool by Toby McSmith, and this follows August, who loves performing. He performs for his family, friends, classmates, but the question remains, when he's not performing, who exactly is August? And so this is supposed to be a very thought-provoking story following August, who is a transgender teen from a small town and unfortunately an unaccepting family. So he runs away to New York City to fulfill his dream of becoming an actor, and you can kind of tell from this line on the front that says, "Find your light, find your truth," that this is about following your dreams but also remaining true to yourself. Next, we have a book that I've been anticipating for a little while now, which is White Smoke by Tiffany Jackson. She has written a number of other books and some thrillers too. I read Grown by her, and that was definitely a thrilling, intense read. And this is her first full horror novel, and it's supposed to be perfect for fans of Get Out and The Haunting of Hill House. I'm actually in the middle of this one right now, and if you like haunted houses, this is definitely what you want to get, because right off the bat, we've got a creepy house, creepy neighborhood, creepy neighbors, so definitely look out for this one, especially for the spooky season. Next, we have It All Comes Back to You by Farah Nazrishi, and this tagline on the front is funny. It says, "All's fair in love and loathing." This is a contemporary rom-com where we have not just the enemies to lovers trope, we have the lovers to enemies back to lovers trope. So these two characters did have a romantic past that they kept secret, and then now they're unexpectedly coming face to face again. It's got Muslim and Desi representation, so this just has a lot going for it. Sounds like a lot of fun. I know also the main character, Kiran, she loves Bollywood dancing, so there's just a lot to look forward to with this book. Next, we have Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Quach, and this follows Eliza, our main character, who's this ambitious young woman who is also setting out to prove that you don't have to be likable to be loved. And this also has an enemies to lovers romance, and I'd love your opinions down in the comments. Do you prefer enemies to lovers or friends to lovers? Either way, it's gonna prove to be juicy, so definitely excited to see that in here. And on top of that, the story is infused with the author's Chinese and Vietnamese culture. Next, we have All These Bodies by Kendara Blake, who you definitely might recognize as the #1 New York Times bestselling author of the Three Dark Crowns series. And now we have a true crime-inspired thriller. So with this one, we have a series of gruesome murders that kind of swept the Midwest in 1958, but what made it extra strange was that all of the bodies were found completely drained of blood. So they were nicknamed the Bloodless Murders. And there's only one suspect, which is this girl named Marie Catherine Hale. So we were wondering, is she the one who really did it? Is she the victim? Is she an accomplice? This tagline on the back that I like says, "So much fear over one little girl." And she will only talk to this aspiring journalist named Michael. So this book will be filled with that high stakes tension, creepy and supernatural elements, and also just with a mystery like that, it's bound to be a kind of edgier seat page turner. So definitely look out for this one too. Next, we have the start to a new epic fantasy series called Dark Rise by the best-selling author C.S. Pacat, and this is supposed to be perfect for fans of the A Darker Shade of Magic series and the Red Queen series. And I've read both of those, and What I liked about them was the concept. And so for this story, we have a young dock boy named Will who has kind of been thrust into this world of reawakened magic. And it takes place in the 19th century London, and then now he finds himself with this role to play in this long forgotten war against the dark. And so I could definitely see why they say it's perfect for those fans of those other series, and it just seems like a really fun time. And last but certainly not least, we have Before We Disappear by the acclaimed author Sean David Hutchinson. You might know his other work, We Are the Ants, and this follows Jack, who is a magician's assistant, and he is tricky, clever, and he gets by stealing tricks for the Enchantress, who is basically the most well-known stage magician at the turn of the 19th century. But when Jack meets Wilhelm, who's the assistant of his next target, he discovers that there's a little more than just tricks to the show, and he starts falling for him. So we've got this star-crossed romance, tricks, magicians, and what sounds to be like a great time. So that is all that I have for you today. Of course, let me hold them up one last time so that way you can be reminded of all the ones that we talked about today. They were a lot. So definitely feel free to check out the description if you want to get your hands on any of these books, if you want to check out your local library, see if they have it, or request some. And that is all for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.